20 years. 10 fighting a war in Troy. 10 trying to sail home across one stretch of sea. That's the Odyssey. The story of a man trying to get back to his own front door. And you know the man. Odysseus. The clever one. The king of Ithaca. The one who blinded the Cyclops, outweighted the sirens, walked back into his own hall, and took his throne back with a bow. His name is on the poem. His face is on the poster. This weekend, it's Matt Damon's face, on the biggest screen ever built. But here's the question nobody thinks to ask. How did he actually do it? Not muscle. Not luck. 3 women. 3 completely different kinds of love. The first taught him something no god ever bothered to. The second let him go when she could have kept him forever. The third held an entire kingdom together with nothing but her mind while the world told her she was a widow. Circe, Calypso, Penelope. And I'll be honest with you before we start, I'm the Muse, and these 3 are mine. The poets sang Odysseus for 3,000 years. They sang his tricks, his scars, his big dramatic homecoming. The women who made every step of it possible got a line here, a footnote there. So today the poem belongs to them. Try to keep up. Circe is a daughter of the sun, literally. Her father is Helios, who drives the sun across the sky, and her mother is Perse, one of the ocean nymphs. Her brother is Eats, keeper of the golden fleece. Her sister is Pasiphae, mother of the Minotaur, which makes Medea and Ariadne her nieces. A whole bloodline of women that the men in the stories called dangerous, and that mythology, more honestly, called witches. She lives alone on the island of Aiai. Don't look for it on a map. It was never really a place. It's a threshold, the spot where the world of the living starts turning into something else. And around her palace, there's a garden, not of flowers, of men. Lions that used to be soldiers, wolves that used to be pirates, boars that showed up with swords and got turned into something a little more honest. Circe feeds every one of them. And here's the part people miss when they call her cruel. She didn't do it out of malice. She did it because she could see exactly what they already were underneath the armor and the speeches. She just made the outside match. So when Odysseus's crew washes up on her shore, she does what she always does. Welcomes them in. Honey, cheese, wine, and then pigs. The whole landing party, snouts and all except Eurylochus, who hangs back, smells the trap, and runs to warn Odysseus. Now, on the path up to the palace, Hermes intercepts Odysseus and hands him a plant. It's called moly, black root, white flower, and it cancels Circe's magic. A rare, rare gift. So Odysseus walks in, drinks the enchanted wine, and when Circe taps him with her wand to make him squeal, nothing happens. And she goes very quiet. And then she asks the question that changes everything between them. Who are you, that my magic cannot touch you? That's the moment they each see exactly what the other one is. 2 people who've spent their whole lives being the smartest, most dangerous thing in every room, finally in a room with someone their own size. Odysseus stays on Aiai for a year. A full year. The crew eats, drinks, gets their strength back. Circe becomes his lover, his ally, and in the end, the only person alive who can give him the one thing he actually needs. Because Odysseus has to reach the underworld. He has to consult the dead. And no living mortal has ever crossed into the land of the dead and come back out. Circe knows the way. She knows what to ask, whose blood to offer, how to pick the ghost of the prophet Tiresias out of a crowd of the dead. She sends him down. She takes him back. And then she keeps going. She briefs him on the whole road ahead. The sirens, here's how you survive the song. Scylla and Charybdis. Sail here, not there. And yes, you will lose men, and no, there's nothing you can do about it. The cattle of the sun, my own father's cattle, do not touch them, no matter how hungry your crew gets. And then she sends him away. Fair winds, full provisions, a complete map of everything he needs to stay alive. She loved him knowing he would leave. So instead of holding on to him, she equipped him to go. Sit with that for a second, because it's rarer than it sounds. Most love stories treat the ending as a failure. Somebody left, somebody wasn't enough, it fell apart. Circe looked at the ending coming, saw it clearly from the start, and made it the most generous thing she had to give. She turned goodbye into a survival kit, the witch who turned men into pigs. And the only reason Odysseus lived long enough to become a legend.
Both.
At the same time, that's the thing about the women in this poem. They're never just one thing. The men never quite figured that out. Calypso is a daughter of Atlas, the Titan sentenced to hold up the sky on his shoulders forever at the edge of the world. And maybe that's why she, of all people, understands the weight of carrying something enormous that is never, ever going anywhere. She's in exile. She backed the Titans in the Great War against the Olympians, lost, and got filed away on the island of Ogygia, which, again, not on any map. It's past the horizon. It's the place where time stops making sense. And it's beautiful, the way an eternal prison has to be beautiful. Cypress and poplar around her cave. Grapes ripe all year long. For springs of clear water, each running a different way.
No storms.
No seasons.
No ahin.
Nothing missing and nothing changing ever. Odysseus arrives half-drowned, the sole survivor of a shipwreck that took everyone else he had left. Calypso pulls him out of the water.
Cares for him.
Loves him. She keeps him for 7 years. And here's the detail I need you to actually hear because it's in Homer, word for word, and almost nobody quotes it. Every single day, Odysseus wakes up, eats, spends the day with Calypso, and then walks down to a rock at the edge of the sea, turns his back to the whole paradise, stares at the water, and weeps. The cleverest man in Greece, sitting on a rock, crying every day for 7 years. Calypso knows. She watches him do it, and she still doesn't let him go. And then she makes him an offer no god had ever made to a mortal. Immortality, eternal youth, a life beside her with no pain, no war, no loss, no death, ever. A golden forever at the edge of the world. He says no, not because he doesn't love her, but because Ithaca was never really a place either. Ithaca is a choice. It's who he is. A black-haired wife holding a besieged palace together. A son who grew up without a father's face to remember. A life he left hanging in mid-sentence. And he cannot become someone who just lets it stay unfinished. He would rather be a mortal man who goes home and dies than an immortal one who stayed. So Athena goes to Zeus. Zeus sends Hermes. Hermes comes all the way down to Ogygia with the order from the gods. Let him go. And Calypso listens to that, and she says something Homer wrote down with real precision, and that people almost never repeat. She says, "You gods are cruel. When a goddess takes a mortal man as a lover, you tear it all down. When a god takes a mortal woman, no one lifts a finger. The unfairness," she's saying, "isn't only a human problem. It goes all the way up." But she obeys. She calls Odysseus, tells him he's free, hands him the tools to build a raft, gives him bread, water, dark wine, warm clothes, sends a fair wind to carry him out. And then she stands on the shore and watches the raft shrink into the horizon. Homer never tells us what happens to Calypso after that. She just vanishes from the poem. Some later myths say she waited. Some say she died of grief. Most of them say nothing at all, which is somehow the loudest version. As if her story simply ended the moment his sail disappeared. Her name means the one who hides. She hid Odysseus from the world. She hid Ithaca from him. She hid the passing of time inside a paradise with no seasons. And on the day she let him go, she stopped being Calypso at all. Because here's the hardest kind of love there is. It isn't the one that ends when it falls apart. It's the one that ends while it's still working, because you're the one who has to end it. Because the person you love has to leave, and you're the one who unlocks the door. Circe let him go and got to stay a witch. Calypso let him go and lost her own name for it. 2 islands, 2 goodbyes, and one of them cost everything. Let me catch my breath before the last one, and it's the big one. If these 2 are landing for you, do me a small kindness and leave a like. I know. Every voice on the internet begs for it. But this one genuinely pushes the song in front of more people who'd actually feel it, and that matters more than you'd think for something this quiet. And subscribe because I'm singing a fresh myth here, and I don't repeat myself. But mostly I want to know, Circe, who armed him and let him go, or Calypso, who offered him forever and lost herself? Which one wrecked you a little more? Tell me down in the comments. I read them. I'm a muse. Being talked about is basically the whole job.
Alright.
Penelope, the one who never left. Penelope doesn't live on an enchanted island. She lives in a besieged palace, which, it turns out, is harder. She's the daughter of Icarius and the cousin of Helen of Sparta. Yes, that Helen, the one whose flight to Troy started the entire war that dragged Odysseus away in the first place. Penelope didn't cause the war. She just spent 20 years paying for it. And the way Odysseus won her tells you everything about the marriage. He won her with his mind, not his money, because he didn't have the money. Every noble in Greece was competing for Helen's hand, and Odysseus took one look at that race and knew he had no chance in it. But he noticed something else. Helen's father, Tyndareus, had a real problem. Picking one suitor out of that crowd meant making enemies of all the others. Potential civil war over a wedding. So Odysseus made a deal. I'll solve your problem. You help me win someone else. He invented the Oath of the Suitors. Every man competing for Helen swears to defend whoever she ends up choosing. Rivalry converted into alliance in one move. Tyndareus picks Menelaus. Nobody fights. And Odysseus gets what he actually wanted. Penelope, Tyndareus' niece, famous not just for her beauty, but for a mind that ran as fast as his own. They sail to Ithaca together, and on the way she watches him think. Watches him read the stars, lead men, reason 3 steps ahead of every situation. She didn't just marry a hero. She married an equal. Remember that word.
It matters at the end.
And in Ithaca, Odysseus does something extraordinary. In the palace courtyard, there's an ancient olive tree, still rooted, still alive. Instead of cutting it down, he builds their marriage bed around it. The living trunk becomes one of the bedposts. The roots stay in the ground. Then he builds the whole bedroom around the bed, which means the bed can never be moved. It's rooted into the earth of Ithaca itself. And only 2 people in the entire world know that.
Hold on to it.
They have a son, Telemachus. And then the war comes calling, through that same oath Odysseus invented. Helen is taken. Menelaus summons every man who swore. Odysseus, who very much does not want to go, tries to fake madness, yokes an ox and a donkey to the same plow, and starts sowing the field with salt. Performance art insanity, to dodge the draft he wrote himself. And a man named Polymedes, who's a little too clever, calls the bluff. He sets the baby Telemachus down in front of the plow. Odysseus swerves to save his son. Sanity exposed. He has to go. So Penelope stands there with a baby in her arms, watching her husband leave for a war with no known end date. And she understands the awful symmetry of it. The oath he invented, the single most brilliant thing he ever did, is the exact thing now taking him away from her. Genius and catastrophe, the same idea. 10 years of war. And then silence. The war ends, and Odysseus simply does not come home. No word, no body, nothing. He vanishes into the Mediterranean, and Ithaca slowly decides she's a widow. And then the suitors come. 108 nobles, from Ithaca and the islands around it, move into the palace. Not as guests, as occupiers. They eat Odysseus's herds, drink his wine, burn through the wealth of the house. They call themselves candidates for the queen's hand, but what they actually want is the throne, because whoever marries Penelope inherits Ithaca. And Telemachus is still far too young to throw them out. Penelope has no army, no real allies. She has exactly one thing, the same thing Odysseus recognized in her the day he chose her. Intelligence. So she goes to war the only way she can. Quietly. First move, the shroud. She announces she'll choose a new husband the moment she finishes weaving a burial shroud for Laertes, her aging father-in-law. It's a sacred duty. No Greek would dare interrupt a funeral rite for a member of the family. The gods would never forgive it. So she weaves it during the day, in full view of the suitors. And every night, alone, by lamplight, she unpicks everything she wove. 3 years. She froze 108 men in place with a piece of cloth and a loom. I want that on a monument somewhere. Eventually, one of the maids gives her up. The suitors are furious, dig in harder, demand she choose. So Penelope changes tactics. She starts turning them against each other. A little hope to this one, a little to that one, keeping the competition alive, so they never unite into a single block. And she starts demanding expensive gifts from all of them. Think about what that does. While they're devouring Odysseus's wealth, she's forcing them to replace part of what they destroy. She is, effectively, charging rent on her own occupation. And then she invents the test of the bow. When Odysseus finally does come home, disguised as a beggar, in a hall that doesn't recognize him, Penelope makes her announcement. She'll marry the man who can string Odysseus's great bow and shoot an arrow clean through 12 axe heads lined up in a row. That's the final play, because she knows or she senses that only one man alive can do that. By setting the test, she drops her husband's ultimate weapon right into the middle of the hall, and she builds the exact conditions in which a single man could destroy a crowd. She doesn't know for certain it's him, but she loads the board so that if it is him, he wins.
The suitors try.
One by one, they fail. Then the beggar asks for a turn. They laugh. Penelope says he has the right to try. He strings the bow like it's nothing, sends the arrow straight through all 12 axes, and then he stops being a beggar. But here's what makes her the smartest person in the poem. Penelope does not run to him. She comes down into the hall, and she just stands there, studying the man in front of her. 20 years have gone by. She has survived 3 years of weaving and unweaving, 108 suitors, and constant pressure to hand over the throne and effectively sign her own son's death warrant. She cannot afford to be wrong now.
Not now.
So she tests him. She tells the maid to move the bed out of the bedroom, drag it into the hallway, make it up for their guest. And Odysseus erupts, because he built that bed with his own hands around a living olive tree. It cannot be moved. It's rooted into the ground.
Who moved my bed?
Who could possibly have moved it? And that's it. That's her proof. Penelope recognizes her husband, not by his scar, the way the old nurse Euryclea did, not by his face, by the one secret that only 2 people on Earth have ever shared. She didn't trust her eyes. She trusted the thing that couldn't be faked. When Homer finally lets them come together, he compares it to shipwrecked sailors reaching land after a storm that should have killed them. And that's exactly right, because they're both veterans of 2 different wars. He crossed the Mediterranean with a sword. She held an entire kingdom with nothing but her mind. Odysseus was the blade that cut the way home. Penelope was the shield that made sure there was still a home waiting when he returned. Without her, he sails 20 years and lands at an empty house and a stolen throne. There's no Ithaca left to save. Her faithfulness was never the soft, passive, waiting by the window thing the word makes it sound like. It was the hardest kind of war Greek myth knows. Slow, invisible, unglamorous. No bard ever sang a battle hymn for it. For 20 years, indoors, against enemies you can't kill with a sword. The poets called Odysseus the man of many turns. Sweetheart, they were pointing at the wrong spouse. 3 women, 3 islands, 1 real, 2 impossible. 3 different ways to love a man who is always on his way somewhere else. Circe taught him what no god ever taught him, the road through the land of the dead, and the strange generosity of letting go of someone who has to leave. Calypso offered him the impossible, forever, and when he turned it down, she helped him leave anyway and lost her own name doing it. The hardest love is the one you end on purpose, not because it failed, but because it was the only kind thing left to do. And Penelope didn't let him go at all. She waited. Except waited is the wrong word. She governed, she schemed, she resisted, she held the line. She kept Odysseus's name alive in Ithaca long after everyone else had carved it onto a tomb. So no, the Odyssey is not the story of a hero. It's the story of a hero and the 3 women without whom he would never, not once, have made it home. The poets forgot to say that plainly. I don't. Now, before you drift off, leave a like if this one earned it, subscribe for the next myth, And tell me down in the comments which of the three you'd have won at your side: the witch, the goddess, or the queen. Choose carefully. I'm watching. Sung by the Muse. Cast in bronze.